مرحبا بكم في برنامج الإمارات للأداب في الفضاء. نستضيف هذا الأسبوع مجموعة من الكتاب المبدعين الذين سيشاركوننا قصصهم المستوحاة من الفضاء أو من تجاربهم على متن محطة الفضاء الدولية. استمتعوا بقصص ستأخذكم في رحلة عبر الفضاء. لطالما نظر الناس إلى السماء متسائلين عما يكمن وراء كوكبنا. نحن نرى النجوم والضوء الباعث القادم من الكواكب الأخرى، ونتخيل وجود حياة أخرى في هذا الكون. والبعض منا يحلم بالسفر إلى الفضاء والعيش على المريخ أو المشي على القمر، بينما يخضع آخرون لتدريبات في السفر إلى الفضاء وينجحون بالذهاب إلى هناك. دعونا نلتقي ببعض الكتاب ونستمتع بقصص.
Good morning, everybody. We are super excited to be here today through a magical space journey. Welcome to Elfin Space. This week, you will be hearing from many authors, and we will be reading about our journeys in space. And I will be reading my book, Can I Go Up Now?, which is, of course, set in space, as you can see. My name is Ibtisam Al-Baiti, and I am a children's author and early years professional. And I can't wait for you to join me on a very, very special adventure with my little friend, Little Earth, in the book, Can I Go Out Now? All right, little astronauts, I hope you all have your space helmets on. I know I have got my helmet on, and let's go on our journey to outer space with Little Earth. Hold on to your rockets, and I hope you have your belts on, seat belts on, because off we go on a journey to outer space. Can I go out now? Little Earth lived in a faraway house with Mommy Moon and Daddy Sun. I want you to look at the picture. This is Little Earth, and can you see who he lives with? He lives with his family, Mommy Moon and Daddy Sun. And I want you to take a minute and have a look at his home. Did you realize what it's made up of? It's a star constellation. So have a close look. And I hope you can spot many, many stars in our journey in outer space. Let's carry on with our story. Little Earth had many friends. I'm going to stop here for a minute as well. Boys and girls, who are Little Earth's friends? They are the planets. And do you know how many planets there are? Let's count them together just to remind ourselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are 8 planets in the solar system, and Earth is our planet, a very, very special planet. Let's carry on with our story. One day, Little Earth felt rather gloomy. Oh no, he doesn't look very happy. He wanted to play with his planet friends, but he wasn't feeling very well. Can I go out now? Asked Little Earth to Mommy Moon and Daddy Sun. Not today. Wait until you're better. So boys and girls, Little Earth isn't feeling very well. All he wants to do is play outside, but Mommy Moon and Daddy Sun remind him about something very important. He must stay inside. He must stay indoors, rather, until he feels better. Now, I'm going to need your help, boys and girls. Every time you hear Little Earth say, "Can I go out now?" I want you to repeat after Mommy Moon and Daddy Sun and say, "Not today. Wait until you're better." And that way, Little Earth will always remember that he must be better. Let's carry on with our story. He looked at his blue water. It didn't look very blue. He looked at his green land. It didn't look very green. Boys and girls, what's going on with the environment? Why is Little Earth's water not blue? And why isn't his land green? Have a little think about why you think little Earth isn't feeling very well and what's happening to the environment. But he still wanted to play with his little planet friends. He sadly watched little Mercury and little Venus playing hide and seek from his bedroom window. So have a look, guys. That's Mercury and Venus. Those are his two planet friends. Can I go out now? Asked little Earth to Mummy Moon and Daddy Sun. Remember, what do they say? Not today. Wait until you're better. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Who's that, boys and girls? There's another two planets. It was little Mars and little Jupiter. Boys and girls, Mars is the red planet and Jupiter is the biggest planet of them all. Would you like to play on the slide with us? They want little Earth to go outside and play. Little Earth looked at his blue water. It didn't look very blue. He looked at his green land. It didn't look very green. But he still wanted to play with his little planet friends. Can I go out now, please? Asked little Earth. But what do Mommy Moon and Daddy Sun remind him, guys? Let's say it together. Not today. Wait until you're better. Oh dear, look at little Earth. He's really sad now. Don't worry, little Earth, said Mommy Moon. When your water starts becoming blue and when your land starts turning green, you can play with your planet friends. Little Earth thought, if I keep my water clean, it will make it blue. And if I take care of my land, it will make it green. So boys and girls, little Earth has to make sure the environment is getting better. And only then will he feel better to play with his planet friends. And he did just that. Little Earth saw little Saturn and little Uranus playing on the swings outside. Yahoo! Higher, higher! Little Neptune, the last planet, pushed them higher and higher into the skies. Boys and girls, before we go forward to the next page, did you notice something about little Saturn and little Uranus? What have they got around them? They've got rings around them. Soon, little Earth wasn't feeling so unwell. Can I go out now? Asked little Earth. But what did Mommy Moon and Daddy Sun say? Not today. Wait until you're better. The next morning, as little Earth was eating breakfast, what's he eating, boys and girls? Can you have a look? What's that? Galactic flakes. Have you ever had galactic flakes? I haven't. Well, we're lucky we're in space. We might be able to find some galactic flakes in space. He noticed a small paper rocket fly into the kitchen window. Have a look. What's that? It's a paper rocket. What could it be? It's a message. From who? Let's read it. He couldn't believe his eyes. Let's read the message. Dear little Earth, we miss you and we can't wait for you to feel better. Stay safe. Lots of love, your little planet friends. Boys and girls, it's a message from little Earth's friends, the planets. Do you know what? They are teaching little Earth that even though he's at home and they are outside in outer space, they can still talk to each other. They can still communicate, just like what astronauts do in outer space. When the astronauts are in outer space, they can still talk to us while we're on Earth. Actually, what we're doing now, I'm in my home and you're in your homes, but we can still talk to each other. I think this is going to make Little Earth very happy. Feeling very excited, Little Earth ran upstairs as fast as he could and closed his bedroom door. Bam! Mummy Moon and Daddy Sun thought, whatever happened to Little Earth? Little Earth opened his drawer, found his best paints and paper, and got straight to work. He's just received a message from his planet friends. Have a think, boys and girls at home. What do you think he's going to use his paints and paper for? He didn't feel sad anymore. He didn't feel lonely anymore. He felt very, very happy. Finally, look at Little Earth's water. Look at Little Earth's land. What can you see, boys and girls? What's happened to the environment? He looked at his water. What color is it now? It was becoming blue. And what do you see in the water? I see lots of fish. And there's a fin over there. Could that be a dolphin? Maybe a whale? He looked at his land. It was turning green. Boys and girls, what's happened to the trees? Are they chopped down or have they grown into large trees? The environment is finally getting better, and that means Little Earth, our Earth, is getting better. He wrote his message back to all his planet friends. Dear planet friends, thank you for showing me how to stay close to you, even though we are far away. I can't wait to play with you very soon. Lots of love, Little Earth. Now Little Earth knows that even though we are far away, just like astronauts in space, we can still talk to our friends. Little Earth folded his rocket, folded his paper into a rocket, and happily watched it fly to all his planet friends. The next day, Little Earth looked proudly at himself and said, "Can I go out now?" Feeling excited, Mummy Moon and Daddy Sun said, "Yes, Little Earth, you can go out now." And boys and girls, that brings us to the end of our story. Now, I hope you enjoyed Little Earth's journey into outer space. And remember, guys, Little Earth, our Earth, is our planet. We are responsible to make sure that the environment is healthy. We are responsible for our Earth and to our environment. So let's make sure from today we're going to do our bit.
I did a little book club meeting last night. It wasn't something I had picked out of the book, but it was something that the woman who was leading this club chose to pull out and read as kind of a little excerpt. And I'm like, oh, I remember writing that now and experiencing that and how that influenced what I was trying to share in this chapter, which is the chapter "Go Slow to Go Fast." There's so many meanings, to that little phrase of slower's faster, this patience that we need to have sometimes in the way we deal with things and how the outcome can be surprisingly good if we're not rushing through something. And then in contrast, it's meant to let us know that going slow to go fast does not mean that we shouldn't be responding in an appropriate amount of time to things. Right? For instance, the issues we're seeing, these planetary challenges we're having, we've gone a little bit too slow along the way. And now we need to pick up the cadence and then the way we respond to things. But she read this one section that I was trying to share the experience of water survival. And it was water survival for being able to fly in these little T-38 jets that we use in the astronaut office. And that was one thing that, man, I really wanted to do. But you had to know how, like if something went wrong and you ended up having to, eject and you're ended up in the water, how are you going to survive if that happens? And so they put you through all this stuff in this swimming pool. And I have never been what you would call a strong swimmer. We're in all of our gear. You know, you've got a helmet on, these big boots that don't fit, this flight suit, and they drop you in the water and you have to swim these laps of the pool. And I was not doing well. I was gurgling and bobbing up and down. And I got to the last leg of it, and I had almost convinced myself, okay, you're just going to drown here. This is not going to happen. You're not going to finish. And there were these cadets, because this was at a Navy place, there were this group of cadets who were about to do this same training as I was doing along with two of my colleagues. And this young guy yells from the side of the pool, and I'll just read this as I was, bobbing and sinking and thinking I was going to drown. Then from a distance, I heard one of the young cadets yell, "Ma'am, relax, slow down, the helmet floats." And I'm not sure how I heard him with all my splashing and mental screaming at myself, but he saved me with his simple words. I arched my back and laid my head back on the water's surface and basically used my floaty helmet all the way to the end of that final length of the pool. I have never been happier to get out of the water. Not wanting my friend to suffer as I had, I yelled to Terry, "The helmet floats." Later that day, in one of the classes, before our helicopter rescue training, one of the Navy instructors used the slow is smooth and smooth is fast phrase. He pointed right at me and said, "Nicole, that's what you did on that final length in the pool." And it's stuck with me ever since.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophia Fagihi and I'm the author of Space Exploration, The New Renaissance. I'm 17 years old and I'm from the UAE, and I've always had a lifelong passion for astrophysics, cosmology, and space exploration technology. And these are the exact themes that I aim to discuss in my book. My book is actually aimed towards all age levels, not just older and more professional astronomers or engineers, but also young people like myself. I wanted to create a book that was both interesting and accessible while still being scientifically accurate and meaningful and valuable for the readers, which is why I decided to put together this book. However, my main motivation certainly comes from my childhood love for reading. From a very young age, I always wanted to see my name in a bookshelf, right next to the works of Stephen Hawking and Neil deGrasse Tyson. And this book was a way for me to achieve those dreams. And I've been really grateful for the opportunity to both write this book and have it published here in the UAE and displayed at a number of libraries worldwide, including at universities like the National University of Singapore, Cambridge University, and the Imperial College London. All in all, writing this book has been an extremely memorable and valuable experience for myself, and I hope to inspire other young authors, particularly young girls who are interested in STEM and space exploration. Because we are often told that, STEM is an area for men, but in reality, every woman is equally valuable, if not more valuable, as their male counterparts, and we require representation in all sectors. The excerpt from my book that I'm going to be reading is from chapter 10, which is titled "The Earth is Not Flat." Now, the reason why I choose to read such a chapter is because it's something a bit more whimsical and something that a lot of us accept, but I have met, unfortunately, a few people who do genuinely believe that the Earth is flat. And the idea of misconceptions in popular science is a theme that has been greatly intriguing to me. The new Renaissance is almost plagued with misinformation, and that is why I aim to address some of the more, fundamental debates within space and our understanding of the universe in this chapter. Just like the old Renaissance, the new Renaissance has had its fair share of people who reject scientific evidence for often inexplicable reasons. Centuries ago, hardline followers of Aristotle and Ptolemy supported the idea of geocentrism, which stated that Earth was at the center of the universe, with all other celestial objects orbiting around it, which, of course, was nowhere near scientifically accurate. Only after Nicolaus Copernicus and his followers faced execution and charges of heresy for proposing that Earth was a planet similar to Venus or Mars that orbited around the sun, did scientists finally adopt the heliocentric model. A parallel to this anecdote in the new Renaissance can be seen with the worryingly prevalent population of people who genuinely believe that the Earth is flat. Here are 5 pieces of evidence that immediately debunk any such claims that you can use. Additionally, none of them require exiting Earth's atmosphere, which adds to your credibility. So the first evidence that proves this is that all other planets in our solar system and beyond are round. Thus, there is no reason for Earth in particular to be flat. The reason why other planets, including Earth, are round is because a planet's gravitational pull is capable of attracting mass equally from all sides. As a result, the shape of a planet will be almost spherical, with the exception of minor imperfections caused by other underlying factors, such as high rotational velocity or past impact. Planets' rotation about their axes also contributes to their spherical nature, since centripetal force pushes mass towards the center of the planet, equally across all sides. You've likely noticed that ships sailing away from you or tall buildings tend to sink or disappear in the horizon from the bottom first, and this phenomenon is caused by Earth's horizon, which acts as evidence proving that the Earth is round. The fact that objects sink and rise up from our line of sight is caused by the curvature of a very round Earth. Despite the fact that the Flat Earth Society has tried to falsify the evidence of the horizon under the false pretense of illusions caused by perspective, the fact that it always causes objects to distinctly fade from view from the bottom before the top removes any likelihood of their claims being correct. The Coriolis effect is another example of an Earth-based observation that can be used to prove that our planet is indeed round. This phenomenon occurs when objects moving in a straight line appear to curve when the observer is rotating, or the path of deflection taken by airborne objects as they travel along long distances around Earth. Specifically, this is caused by the fact that Earth rotates at a higher speed closer to the equator than at the poles. Equatorial regions rotate at 1600 kilometers per hour, while polar regions only rotate at 0.00008 kilometers per hour. For example, if you were standing along the equator and wanted to shoot a deer in North America, the shot would land to the right of the deer, because the deer is rotating at a slower speed and has not reached that point yet. In the northern hemisphere, airborne objects deflect to the right and vice versa in the southern hemisphere. And this can only occur on a spherical object with distinct hemispheres that rotate about a central axis. When observing the sky, the latitude of the observer on Earth will impact the constellations that they are able to see. This was first documented by Aristotle in 350 BC after he returned from a trip to Egypt, where he noticed that looking up meant looking into a different portion of the vacuum of space that surrounds Earth. For instance, the Big Dipper constellation can always be seen from latitudes of 41 degrees north or higher, but is completely invisible anywhere lower than 25 degrees south. In the status quo, anyone with the adequate financial resources and access to air travel can circumnavigate the globe in an aircraft while staying in Earth's atmosphere, because they fly in the stratosphere there. Depending on the altitude at which the aircraft flies, the curvature of Earth can potentially be seen as long as the viewer has a 60-degree field of view. From a historical perspective, the first complete circumnavigation of Earth was done by Ferdinand Magellan in 1519, when him and his crew sailed in a constant westwards direction until they returned to their original destination in southern Spain. Such a feat would certainly not be possible without a round planet, and given his direction of travel, a disk would not have worked either, because he would have fallen off the edge of the planet.
قطعنا شوطا طويلا مع الرائد سلطان خلال الأشهر الماضية. انضممنا إليه في الفضاء وتعلمنا من زملائه، وأذهلتنا أفكار وإبداعات مجموعة من الكتاب والشعراء والفنانين والعلماء المتميزين، ولعل أبرزهم كان طلابنا الصغار الذين هم مستقبل استكشاف الفضاء. في المرة القادمة انضموا إلينا في الجزء الأولي من حلقة خاصة مؤلفة جزئين، بينما نستعد لاستقبال سلطان في الأرض. أما الآن حان دوركم، تابعونا على elfinspace.ee وتعرفوا على نشاط هذا الأسبوع، ولا تنسوا مشاركة كل ما يتعلق بالفضاء معنا.